Well, well, you're right, Uncle Al, and thank you. I feel like an idiot. I swear. I only spent like 10 minutes talking about this stuff. Oh my gosh. I grew up, I'm so freaking old, I remember using an Atari, and somehow I'm not amazing with modern computers. I don't know how that works. I don't know how some 25-year-old kid is, got 10,000 Instagram followers and I can't even figure out how to go live. Pretty pathetic, honestly. Well, if you're just joining us, which I suppose everyone is because I haven't really been live, what's up, Mr. Swede? So, I'm going to make this video a bit short or shorter than I planned just because I've been kind of going for like 10, 15 minutes and I, oh, excuse me, I'm not that tired, but anyway, so today we're talking about different ways to make money. So let's just go to, in fact, I'll go to the better view of the list for anyone that wants to pause the video. So let's go like that, and that's worthless. Let's go like that, also worthless. God, that is just so small. Okay, let me see if we can make this a little bigger. That's slightly better. Okay, that's too big. Still too big. And why are you doing that? I don't really. Come on. Holy Lord, why are you being silly? There we go. All right. Tell you, these little bars are super important and I just don't know how to work them. So, if you want to pause this or screen print this and save it off to the side, I'm going to be talking about a few of these things. So the topic of the video was ways to make money in this crappy economy. The economy is not doing fantastic, and since the economy is not doing fantastic, I thought I would talk about some different ways to make money while the economy is going not quite wonderfully. So, without further ado, let's kind of jump into this. So, moving company was one idea, and as I was talking to myself about this slightly earlier, what's up, Uncle Al? You can design the own size of your business. So you might think, well, I'm just a single adult. How am I going to start a whole moving company by myself? Well, you don't have to start a comprehensive moving company by yourself. You could start, I only move big furniture by myself. You could start, I move cars by myself and rent a car carrier. You could start as like a moving assistant where you just help other people move. And you can rent a lot of stuff. You can rent the trucks, you can rent the hand trucks, the moving trucks, the hand trucks, sometimes furniture dollies. It's not terribly capital intensive as far as like moving blankets and bubble wrap and stuff like that. But with people's income changing and being furloughed and not being allowed to work because of governors and such, people are going to need to move. So I think we've seen some articles about moving companies being really busy, and I wish I could sort of share different screens at once. Let me see if I can find something on that. Uh, yeah, so this was an article like a month ago. Movers in New York are so busy they're turning people away. Now, granted, that's New York. Let me see if I can share that screen. Stop screen, share screen, application window, Opera. No, darn it. Opera tab. Here we go. So let's try this again. Oh, what's this garbage? Oh, get out of here. Yeah, so movers in New York, they're so busy they're turning people away. Now, that's just New York, but the bottom line is it shouldn't be a terrible surprise that a lot of people are moving now more so than they used to. It's obviously a very physically intensive job, and honestly, I would never want to be a mover because stuff is heavy. People value their old junk more than you would believe, and heaven forbid you scratch their grandma's chest or you put a dent in their wall. It's, people living on the second floor, the third floor, there's no apartment, you got to mess with all these stairs. Um, just a real dog, right? It's just a real dog to do all that. So, company idea number one, moving company. Number two, mobile auto repair. So, and I talked a little bit about inelastic versus elastic. I don't know, can I show two comments? No, just one. So, talking about inelastic versus elastic goods. If there's something that you take medication for, that's a relatively inelastic good because no matter what's going on in your life or the economy, you need that medication. Just like you need gasoline for your car, just like you need power and water and such. But an elastic good is something that sort of fluctuates with your financial strength. So jewelry might be an example of an elastic good. You might buy more jewelry if you have a little bit more money. You might buy a little less jewelry if you have less money. So where were we? The type of job. Yeah, mobile auto repair. So auto repair is kind of a mix as far as inelastic versus elastic. People, if they have a little bit of extra money, might go out of their way to get their car fixed. And if people don't have a lot of extra money, they might just drive their car that's kind of broken. We've all heard cars that sound like crap and the brakes are squeaking and the belts are squeaking and the engine's ticking and they still have to go to work and they don't realize that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So that being said, there are always people looking to get their car fixed. And similar to the moving company, you don't have to provide everything. I mean, you don't have to change somebody's timing belt in their front yard. That would be an absolute disaster. But what I was saying before I went live, when I was talking to myself for 20 minutes, was brakes, check engine light code, oxygen sensors, air filters, wipers, um, charging a battery, maybe replacing someone's battery, low hanging fruit. Get the low hanging fruit. Don't feel obligated to do all this new, crazy, difficult stuff. Fix the rotors. Oh, speaking of rotors, oh my gosh. This is a little hard for the average person, but if you ever get your brakes looked at and you go to a shop and they say, we need to replace your rotors, what you need to do is say, oh, I was wondering if you might be able to turn them. Could you tell me what measurements you got when you measured them? And could you show me what the factory spec is on the minimum and maximum? So the idea is, if rotors get a little bit bumpy, you can put them on a machine and turn them and smooth them out. Now, you only have so much material that you can remove from the rotors, but don't ever let an auto shop tell you you need to replace the rotors without first having the shop tell you, um, what the measurements are. Because if they haven't even measured it and they're telling you to replace the rotors, then they're trying to scam you. Let me see if I can get a picture here. Let's see. Yeah, so this is sort of a picture of what we. Oh, of course, it's all small. God, I hate Google Images has just turned into a idiotic thing where like all the pictures are small and you can't get full size pictures without visiting the website. It drive a person crazy. But let's see if we can go full screen. Yeah, so up here in the top right, that's a machine that's turning a rotor. Um, so anyways, if your rotors are messed up, you can turn your rotors. And what's going on, Mark? Thanks for joining us. We're talking about ways to make money in a shit economy. Japanese American. Yeah, there's anyways. So next item on the list. So in conclusion, mobile auto repair. Focus on the easy stuff and don't worry about trying to do everything. Number 3, tree trimming. Trees always grow, and most people couldn't use a chainsaw if their life depended on it. And again, you can design your own business. Don't be the guy that needs to climb up 50 feet in a palm tree. It's not doesn't have to be you. Let's show a video or a picture of a good looking palm tree there. So you don't have to trim super big trees. You don't, you can really design how much you want to do it. And number 3 is tree trimming or yard services. And obviously, if you go out and buy a weed trimmer and a mower and an edger and a shovel and a pickaxe, and the thing with working on people's houses or working on their yards is that it's kind of a slippery slope. You say you're the guy that cuts the lawn and they're like, "Oh, can you trim this tree?" And then you're trimming the tree and they're like, "Oh, can you plant this flower?" And then you plant the flowers and it's like, "Oh, can you fix my sprinklers?" And it never ends, right? And if you're trying to make money, you're not always likely to turn down the work, but at the same time, you have to be careful that you're not spreading yourself too thin. The best way to deal with that, in my opinion, is to have sort of a circle of references to where if you just want to do lawns, if you have a tree guy say, "Look, I don't trim trees." Wow, yeah, great, Mark. I'll touch on that in a second. But if you can refer somebody, when I was a handyman, people would sometimes ask me to do stuff beyond me, and I never really found a good referral. But oh, what's going on, Alpine? Thanks for coming, or thanks for joining us. We're talking about ways to make money in a rough economy. Yeah, Mark, that's a really fantastic. In fact, let me go ahead and share this with the group. One of the things that's kind of cool about this StreamYard business, finding your niche, right? I mean, how many of us have broken screens? I have at least one broken screen at my house, and to be honest, they are so easy to fix. It's not funny. If the frame's in good condition, you take out the rubber, throw a new screen on, put the little seal on, and you're good as gold. And then the pressure washing thing, pressure washing is really a great business because the customer pays for the water, the gas is relatively cheap, and as long as your pressure washer runs, you're doing okay. The only thing that gets a little bit tricky is if people want you have to have, access to water and then you have to have the hose that reaches. So, you know, if you pressure wash enough, eventually you're going to get called to some site where if you don't have 100 feet of hose for the garden hose water supply, and if you don't have 100 feet of pressure washing hose, it's just not going to happen. You got to be a guy in the truck with like the 200-foot roll of pressure washing hose on the back of their truck. But if you were just pressure washing people's houses, in fact, if you were going to be a pressure washer, I would recommend getting in touch with realtors because realtors, when they're selling houses, they always want the house to look super clean, right? And there's no better way to clean a house than pressure washing it. And painters, so realtors want to clean the house before they sell it. And painters like to pressure wash, or at least they should want to pressure wash the house before they paint it to get the old, yucky paint off. And that's where having a little bit of business sense comes into it, right? Kind of like the landscaping. If you're a landscaper, You want to be friends with real estate investors, with real estate professionals, people that own large complexes, so you can get, repetitive work, people that have large lawns, I guess. Mobile tires. He puts cards on windshields and mulching. He will undercut everyone. Big markup on tires. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing that's a little weird about that is like the guy's going to have to get the tire, right? Like you could mount a tire mobile, but it's not like he's going to have every supply of tires on him. So he'll have to, I guess, get tires from like a distributor or something or a warehouse. And then he's trying to save money because, of course, if you have a shop, there's overhead, to pay for the rent, the rental space, the equipment, the salaries, the insurance. That's kind of where you really save in all this gig economy, so to speak, is that overhead is a real dog. Overhead is a real nightmare, whether it's lease or insurance or business licenses, all that stuff. Um, it all costs money. It all costs money. And I'm trying to help you make a little bit of money, hopefully make more than you spend, and try to give you a few ideas. You hear people sometimes like, well, if only I had more money and, if only I could get a job or something. Anytime anyone ever says to you, I wish I had more money, your first response to them needs to be, what are you doing about it? What's your plan? Tire wholesale delivers wherever within 2 hours. Damn. A tire place that could deliver a tire within 2 hours, that is pretty darn impressive, Mark. That's really impressive. And there's so much downward pressure on these brick and mortar companies. I wouldn't say that it makes me sad, but the economy is changing. The economy, of course, is always changing. But this idea that you have to have a brick and mortar place to run your business, excuse me, it's just not true anymore. All right, so tree trimming, yard services, build the business up slowly as much as you're comfortable with it. But bear in mind, the grass always grows and the trees always grow. So if you can get a piece of that action. In fact, there's a guy that I watch. Is it Getting Junk Done? I think it's Getting Junk Done. Let me find his YouTube. He has a lawn care service. He's also a teacher. I don't know how the guy does both things at once. And he definitely doesn't need my shout out because he's got like 14,000 subs. In fact, I need to get his shout out. But at any rate, yeah. So this guy Getting Junk Done, he made a video somewhat recently. Yeah, evaluating my lawn care business. So the poor guy is working like 7 days a week. I mean, he's hustling. Oh, stupid ad. Oh, your public health has never mattered more. In fact, I gotta show you this ad. Yeah, put on a mask. Hang out with your friends and keep your distance and do your part. And f you government, f you. So it's so ironic. This guy kind of reminds me of one of my buddies, but anyways, so he's talking about cutting lawns, how he's struggling to kind of manage the time of cutting lawns and doing the high school thing, or yeah, he's teaching high school while he's cutting lawns. Definitely recommend checking out his channel. He's a cool guy. What's up, Uncle Al? And he mentioned a couple things that I really liked about uh, getting too busy. So he was getting too busy, and he planned on doing a couple of things. One was letting go of some clients that were a little bit further away so that he could increase his route density. And you can tell a guy is smart when they start using terms like route density, right? But I think that was obviously a great idea. And then the other one was he was going to start charging a little bit more money for some of the lawns that he's cutting. And obviously those are both great ideas. It's not me, Uncle Al. But yeah, so cutting grass, trimming trees. Let's move on to the next one. And man, my voice is killing me. I think I need to get some bubbly refreshment. Hang on for just one moment. So, the fourth item on the list, and something that I have personal experience with, is handyman services. Now, I have sort of a love-hate relationship with the handyman work that I was doing. I sort of focused on furniture repair as time went on. There were a couple reasons for that. One, assembling, or not, sorry, not repair, furniture assembly. Furniture assembly is infinitely easier than being a handyman. The problem with being a handyman is that people expect you to be able to fix everything. Um, and the problem is to have enough tools and supplies to sort of tackle every project, it just gets to be a little bit much. So I suppose in that sense, maybe I shouldn't have put it on the list, but if you already have a lot of tools and um, you're good with your hands, consider it. I mean, people will pay 25, 30, $40 an hour for handyman stuff, so it's not a bad way to make money. But the variety and the challenge of problems that you will encounter as a handyman, people that make their livings full time as a handyman probably have about $10,000 worth of tools that they drive around with, or at least like $5,000. I mean, lots and lots of tools and little hardware and lots of little experience. It's just hard to be a jack of all trades. And a handyman is kind of expected to be a jack of all trades. And it's really, look, I've been using my hands and using tools since I was a kid, and I still think being a handyman is an extremely challenging thing, right? So, number 5, tutor. Now, the reason I think tutor would be good, there's no capital. You don't need any capital. You just need to be able to get to somebody's house, or I guess you could be a virtual tutor. But with schools shutting and doing all this online stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if certain students that might struggle in a subject for whatever reason need help. So I would expect, without having dived, without having without having dove into the statistics, it's like past imperfect or something. Without having diving into the statistics, I would expect tutors are in higher demand than they used to be. So, and again, you can design your own business. Well, the California government can crack down on whatever they want. I mean, not all of my viewers are in California, although a lot of them are. I mean, I leave it up to the individual, to make their own decisions in regards to being above board on paper. Cool, Mark. That's really cool. Don't forget to charge your kid 30% taxes, parent tax. Like, what's taxes? Be like, welcome to being an adult. I'm sure there's lots of online tutoring services. In fact, speaking to Uncle Al's point, if you were tutoring through an online service, it's possible that they have some sort of license to operate as a tutor company, depending on where they're located. If Happy Farm is located in Arizona and California wants a tutor to have a California tutor license or something, or a business license, that could get a little tricky. But California doesn't really have the manpower or woman power, Zer power to really enforce all the stuff they should enforce. I mean, shit. If a code enforcement officer just like walked down my street, all the non-licensed, just California, the government will never really be able to enforce everything that they want to enforce, but it's good to be mindful of what people are cracking down on for sure. Number 6, job seeking consultant. So this is something I had sort of tried to volunteer in the past. At one point in my life, I was all, optimistic about trying to help people improve their lives. Go figure, most people don't want help. Most people just want to live shitty lives. Don't ask me why. I had this ad on Craigslist in the volunteer section for, gosh, like it feels like over a year, but it was a long time. To help people with their resumes, to help people get a job, to market themselves better. And people didn't really want that help. Remodeling a small bathroom in 3 days is definitely impressive, for sure. I mean, that's getting more into like sort of amateur contracting tile stuff, right, than just being a handyman. Throw up a link, Mark. I'll go check out the YouTube channel. If I try to Google handyman on YouTube, it's not going to work well, but throw up a link. So I suppose number 6 isn't the best idea in the world because I personally had trouble making it work. But if you're better at marketing than I am, I would suspect people need help getting jobs. So maybe, well, that narrows it down. Help me help the handyman on YouTube, Mark. Plus, unless he's putting Reno in his video or description, it really doesn't help me find him, unfortunately. But the job seeking stuff might be better like an adult school thing, adult class. I always wanted to teach one of those classes. I always wanted to teach seniors how to use computers because they're pretty bad with computers, and I'm not great, but I know more. I know enough that I could teach someone some skills, So, number 7, social media consultant. That kind of goes along with business, right? So, in this economy, of course, we're struggling with all right, fine. Don't look for a link. I can't type and eat an apple at the same time. And I definitely can't make this shot into the garbage, can I? I'm the worst basketball player in the world. I have to go left-handed. Wow. Nothing but net. Nothing but net, baby. Now, you wouldn't know that, but I could take the computer over there and show you. You're just going to have to trust me. All right. What's it called? The handyman? $224,000 subscribers. Good God. That is insane. Well, he definitely doesn't need a shout out. I guess I'll subscribe just because this guy is such a boss. I should kind of pay attention to all the stuff that he's doing. Wow. That is a monumental amount of subscribers. Yeah, see, it's funny, watching this video. In fact, I'll share the screen and go back and show you. There we go. So this is what, like, the first thing about being a handyman that drives me crazy. Everywhere you go, you have to move like 1,000 pounds of tools to your job site. So he's tearing out the carpet. He's tearing out the carpet. And then he's like, I gotta move the chop saw. Then I gotta move the table saw. Then, then I gotta get the hardwood. Wow, digital protractor. Now, let me share with you something really foolish. Don't ever use a power tool with a watch or anything on your wrist. If the saw catches that watch, it'll drag your arm in there and absolutely. Oh, in fact, let me get rid of this stupid comment. Damn, how do I do that? Yeah, so see how he has his watch on and he's about to push that hand toward the saw? Granted, he'll probably keep his hand away from the saw since he probably knows how to cut a piece of wood, but don't don't wear jewelry when you're using power tools. Don't wear rings, don't wear necklaces, don't wear anything metal or anything like that that's going to catch, you know. Don't wear a paracord bracelet. I'm sure the guy knows what he's doing, but I couldn't help but comment that since I saw that. So yeah, tutor, job seeking consultant, social media consultant. So the idea with that is that as these companies are struggling to make money and to stay afloat, they might not really understand how to market themselves on social media, whether it's Yelp, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, et cetera, right? So if you could go to a company and help them develop their online presence, it was sort of something that I dabbled in for a while. I gave a presentation. I think it was maybe even was it two presentations or three? No, I think it was just the one. I gave a presentation to a bunch of loan professionals. They were all old men. They were all like 60, 70 years old. And I tried to explain to them the benefit of social media. This was back in, I don't know, 2009, 2008 or 9 or so. So I had to try to tell them like, look, you know, you got to build these connections, you got to build your online presence and all this stuff. And they were looking at me like I was from Mars. They couldn't see it. They couldn't see it. It's like you can lead a horse to water, you know. But it just kind of cracked me up, you know. 10 years ago, I'm giving this advice about how to grow yourself with social media. They were just like, what's SEO? You know. But the point is, if somebody has a brick and mortar business and they're in danger of losing their business because they don't have enough clients, and you don't even necessarily have to charge them up front, you know, um, you can just talk to them and be like, look, let me give you some tips to help grow your business. And, you know, I'll give you a little bit to get started. And if you feel like it works, we can come to an agreement on either a monthly service or a one time thing. If I was doing it over again, I would probably do a monthly membership. So a monthly membership that included in-person visits, online tutorials, membership to a community of other business professionals so people can kind of collaborate on, you know, how I grew my flower shop, how I grew my auto repair shop, things of that nature. Mark, no, to answer your question, no, I have never welded pipe together. In fact, there's some scrap at work. Maybe I'll mess around with that today. Welding pipe is tricky. What kind of pipe would you weld? You talking about sweating like copper pipe, or you mean like actually welding like cast iron pipe? Plumbers, as far as I know, don't typically weld anything. They either sweat it or it's all a threaded fitting. But do you have a welder, Mark? Do you? I actually want to buy a welder. I want to buy a little Harbor Freight welder just to like mess around and do stuff around the house. But oh, yeah, sweat. Yeah, they typically call that sweating copper or like brazing copper. It's not really considered welding, but yeah, that's super easy. You just got to be careful that you don't burn the house down when you're sweating copper and it's in the framing. Put some tinfoil or something behind it so you're not But yeah, you just have to heat it up and get your little solder, and you kind of push it in and push it in, and just keep in mind when you're testing the water pressure, um, just if you can't be where the valve is and look at the pipe at the same time, have somebody help you. Don't turn the water on all the way, and then by the time you get to where the pipe is, it's spraying all over the place. So, what's up, WCAM? Well, I'm not live. Number one, I'm not live that often. Number two, I'm not live that consistently. So, I'd love to do a live with you, WCAM. You and I are on the same page about a lot of things in California, and you're, I, cynicism is the closest word that comes to mind, and I'm sorry, but your reverence for the current state of affairs, I appreciate it. People that have lived in California for more than 5, 10 years have kind of, the what do they call it? The halo effect has worn off, right? So we went from like, oh, California is wonderful. Well, you said you were coming to LA a few months ago, and then I never heard from you. So don't get my hopes up. But yeah, I really would love to do something. And by the way, I think most people know this, and it's on my contact me. And I'll be perfectly honest, I do not check this email very often, and I really should. But WCAM, so we can trade like phone or whatever. If you want sometime in the future, shoot me an email at laprepping@gmail.com. It's not LA Prepper. LA Prepper was taken, so I had to make my Gmail LA Prepping. LA Prepping. Well, I'd love to see some videos, WCAM. In fact, let's take a look at. Let's go stalk WCAM online and see if he's shared any videos of his home recap. I certainly hope you have. 16,000 subscribers. Man, I need to get some advice from you on how to grow my channel because you are like, YouTube God status right now. But let's see if you are sharing the home rehab stuff with us at this point. The convenient pivot. I can't wait to watch that video. I'm gonna watch that video when I have a smoke break after I'm done with this video. I like the zombies. In fact, am I sharing this right now? I am not sharing this. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and share this. So we're at WCAM. We got some zombies up top. Man, those are good looking zombies, right? Convenient pivot. Tail coughing the dog. I thought it was the tail wagging the dog, but I get it because COVID, tail coughing the dog. That's very clever. Very clever guy. Stoned complacency. Yeah, that describes California, right? Chainsaw and a steel. It's a good chainsaw. Very good chainsaw. 10 months ago. Man, your video frequency, you have been a busy individual. You haven't put up a video in 3 months? Really? Is that even right? Am I doing this right? Date added, newest. Yeah, share some of your rehab stuff with us, dude. I want to see it. I want to see what you're working on. Okay. I'm doing a home rehab, finishing the new laundry room, moving to the kitchen. House gets painted at the end. Wow, cool, man. Very cool. No videos? Fair enough. Well, can but try. Can but try. How to build a channel. Yeah, I'm definitely waiting for that because I am doing terribly. I've been making videos somewhat regularly for over 2 years, but sometimes I think the stuff like, I don't know, better thumbnails, maybe some editing. But then again, like your channel, WCAM, you're pretty much on the cell phone, unedited, raw from beginning to end, and I've always really liked that. So I'm not really a big believer in high production value. It just takes so much time. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. personally. Um, well, I'm okay on the regular content. I interact fairly aggressively with my audience. I don't know if I'm doing enough to ask people to visit my channel, but I tell you, I think I just need to do more live sessions. I need to do live sessions with people that I like talking to and that have a few subscribers, um, so that we can just kind of like cross over like that. And who knows? I mean, there's a chance that a lot of my 400 subscribers have never heard about you, WCAM. So it's definitely, the size of your channel isn't always necessarily an indicator of who can benefit more, from a live stream. But let's wrap up this video just because I don't know. I don't have to start leaving to work for an hour, but I don't like talking nonstop for that long. Where was my big comment? Here we go. So back to how to make money in a shit economy. I guess start a YouTube channel would be one, but man, you're gonna go broke before you can pay the bills of the YouTube channel. So we had moving company, mobile auto repair, tree trimming or yard services, handyman, tutor, job seeking consultant, social media consultant. Number 8, junk hauler. So I was kind of pissed off. I was at Home Depot the other day, and there were about half a dozen trucks, these junk hauling trucks, just chilling in the parking lot. And it's like, this parking lot is not your advertising platform. This is a Home Depot parking lot. It's private property. And if you're not buying anything in the store, you need to get the hell out of here. I've really never appreciated people that do that. Check in with Corsair Trainers channel on his Monday morning live stream. All right, Corsair Trainers. I've heard that name before. Is he a pilot, I wonder? Oh, I'm not even subscribed. Shame on me. Shame on me. Yeah, thanks for that heads up, Mark. Yeah. See you later, Uncle Al. Thanks for stopping by. Cool. Yeah, Monday morning live stream. Okay. Am I sharing this screen? Yeah. So let me go ahead and hide that comment. Um, Corsair Trainers, 2 different words. Cool. Yeah, I will definitely check this guy out. I just subscribed to his channel. I'll click that little bell so that, things happen. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, he's getting some views. He also has jumped onto the thumbnail bandwagon, which I definitely don't blame him because they really do tend to help. I like his thumbnails a lot. How many subscribers does he have? Oh, come on. Take me to his channel. What's going on? I don't know why it's not showing me how many subscribers he has right now. It's kind of aggravating. Well, I don't know. He has some subscribers anyways, right? Um, oh, Ventura County. Cool, cool. Yeah, I have a friend up there. 10,000. Wow. Yeah, man. Well, there's definitely people on YouTube doing what I'm doing that are doing it better. So I certainly there's plenty of examples to learn from. Let's see if we can wrap up this video. Junk hauling. Yeah, so kind of relating to number 1, moving. As people are having trouble paying the rent, um, they are going to need to move. And quite often, as is in the case in consumer America, people have too much stuff. They have way too much stuff. So they need you to haul their junk off to the dump. And it's about the easiest job in the world because you put all the junk in the truck, you go to the dump, and then you dump it out. And then it's gone, and money in the bank shot of what you drank, right? So if you were really serious about making money in the junk hauling business, you would get a hydraulic lift trailer or a hydraulic lift truck. I'll show you what that looks like if I can. Oh, bad idea. Um, let's see. Lifting bed truck. I don't know what the hell they're called. Damn it, that didn't work either. Hydraulic junk truck? Shit, I don't know how to even search for this. Nope, now that's giving me trucks with hydraulics in them. Oh, this is great. Uh, dump cart? Hydraulic dump cart? Nope. How about hydraulic dump bed? Nope, that's not going to work. Oh, okay. Well, this is sort of a rough. I'm sorry, I'm just having extreme trouble with my YouTube search, but so this truck up here in the top right is kind of what I'm talking about. So that's an older truck, but um, see ya, Mark. So yeah, that's if you really wanted to do a lot of junk stuff, you'd want to get a truck that did that, or a trailer that did that. Number 9, IT services. So with everyone doing this online stuff and working from home and their kids working from home, I would expect a lot more people are having computer problems than they used to, right? So if you have any sort of skills with computers and you can help people fix their computers and get their streams working and their I don't know if there's ever been a better time to be good with computers because everything is just so computer oriented these days. And last but not least, food and or other delivery type stuff. So we're talking Postmates, Uber Eats. Um, I don't even know all the different food services out there, right? Well, now Postmates delivers more than just food. Postmates will deliver anything really except marijuana. And I used to work for them. That's how I know that. Excuse me. So yeah, I will say delivering is extremely difficult on your car. If you want to do delivery full time or Lyft or Uber or stuff like that, you might consider leasing a car. Now, I'm generally very against leasing, but the advantages of leasing are you're paying to use the car, you're not really paying to keep the car. So if you can write it off as a business expense, that should help. Also, it'll be a very new car, and when you're pulling up to people or you're taking people around, they feel a lot more comfortable when someone comes up in a nice new car than an old busted car like I have. And of course, in this economy, people are getting a lot of stuff delivered, so it's really a good time to kind of get in on that delivery scheme, right? So there you have it, YouTube. We've been live for about 48 minutes and 56 seconds. We talked about at least 10 different ways to make money in a rough economy. So I'd like to thank everyone who joined today. It wasn't a lot, but that's okay. We're going to try to do, of course, I say this every live stream. I'm going to try to do more frequent live streams. I'll see if I can stick to every maybe Thursday or Friday for now. Maybe we'll do every Friday. And I know I didn't invite anyone on the stream today, but we'll definitely look to invite people on the stream moving forward. So until next time, thanks for joining, everyone. Keep your cars, trucks, ATVs, computers, cell phones, chop saws, and all your electronic and mechanical equipment running better than I do. And of course, oh, I got to do this in person. There we go. And of course, keep prepping. Thanks for joining, y'all. We'll see you next time.